Hi, comic book fans, and welcome to suddenlycomics.com. It's a Monday night. I'm here with everybody's favorite Canadian, Alan, and we are going to be looking at the hottest Silver Age comics of the week as curated by Alan from Sales at Heritage. Alan has promised us some big keys, and indeed, we've got some
Not just one big key.
one
One
big
big
key,
key.
one big key. Which we've got. So let's crack on, go and have a look at our first comic this week. And it's The Incredible Hulk issue 3.
Hmm. So this is an interesting one. This is this is the failed series for Incredible Hulk. It ran
Yeah.
6 issues,
And they cancelled.
uh, and it got canceled. Um, in issue 3, you're getting more of the Hulk that we recognize. This Hulk was interesting character because when he first started out, he was kind of like a werewolf. He was kind of like Frankenstein's monster, and he was kind of like Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. He was all of those put into one character. And he was really a continuation of the Marvel monsters. However, they didn't really figure out what the character, what this character is. And it's really in this issue where we're getting more of what we can recognize as the Hulk. He's not just like in the first issue of Hulk, he only becomes the Hulk at night. Okay, kind of like a werewolf. That's why I said that. Full moon. But he Hulk only became like hulky at night. So he had to figure out ways to kind of not be hulky or not cause anyone harm. In this, he's gets more of the gamma rays affecting him, and he becomes more able to be Hulk random times. Okay, so
Uh,
that's
yeah. And Hulk can't fly. He
no,
just
he's dropping.
he
He's
just leaps.
dropping. He's dropping with grace.
Right, and this as well, Alan, not mentioned, another key feature about this book. It's the first appearance of the Ringmaster and the Circus of Crime.
Yeah, which actually they're pretty interesting.
Yeah, and they appear. The Spider-Man fights them quite frequently.
Oh, really? I didn't know that part.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Um, so yeah, the Ringmaster appears quite a lot. It's sort of cross different titles.
Very nice. So yeah,
Um,
this
so
is
that's
his
his
first.
first appearance, and I didn't know that. Nice, nice. 8-0. That sounds like a good grade.
Solid grade. Yeah, solid grade.
Nice solid colours.
Hmm.
Oranges, yellows. $4,000. Sounds a bit low to me, Alan.
I don't. I'm not really sure. Tell you the truth. Like I I bought a lower grade copy of this, so I don't really know.
Yeah, it's down a bit.
Down a bit, but actually, like kind of in line with like what was that peak? Not look. Yeah,
Oh, this hasn't sold since January 2020, Alan. So there was no COVID on this.
yeah. That's not COVID. What is that? And then it's up a little bit from that January price.
Yeah,
Not much.
not much. And that's the
So it
only.
is a new record, but it's
Mm,
technically like inflation
it's the
wise down.
same. It's exactly the same. So it's not a new record. It's
Oh, it's the same price?
yeah,
Wait.
4080.
Oh, okay. So same price.
Same price 5 years later.
Yeah. Well, there's no correction to correct.
No.
Uh, so we're seeing that a lot with books, where they're going back to their pre-COVID price. Well, this is it's pre-COVID price.
It is, yes, because there wasn't a COVID price.
Yeah. Okay, that's interesting. I bet you the census is low on this one, would be my guess.
We were only 17.8, and a total of 1,400 total.
Which is low for Marvel.
Yeah, but this
Um,
this title was cancelled, wasn't it? And they can't any.
yeah, only 6 issues.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, they really, it took them a while to sort of sort out Hulk and make him a popular character. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I thought that was an interesting one,
yeah.
and not a record, but not a bad sale.
No, it's okay. Next up, we've got Tales to Astonish 27. This is the first appearance of the man in the anthill. So this is claimed to be well, it is the first appearance of what's his name?
Of Harry Henry Pym.
Henry Pym. That's it.
Um, and
He's
this
not.
is one that I
He's not a
debate
super.
with.
He's not a superhero at this stage. He's just a scientist.
Yeah, this is one that I always debate with Stephen about. Now, I consider this to be the first appearance of Ant-Man because even though it's like one of those retcon situations, because what defines the character? Well, you want to see him on the cover. You want to see him not in the cover, but just in throughout the story, right? You want to see him have his powers, where he gets in the case of Ant-Man, he gets small. You want to see him kind of using those powers, and he does. So he does everything Ant-Man like, okay? And then but he doesn't have his Ant-Man suit
To
until
be a
issue
superhero,
35.
Alan, you've got to have a costume.
Well, not really.
Well,
No, I wouldn't agree with that. If you look at Fantastic Four, they didn't get their costumes until issue number 3. Does that mean that Fantastic Four number?
hang on. Surely they're
I'm
wearing
right.
their costumes on the cover of issue 1.
No, they aren't.
Are they not? What are they wearing?
They're just wearing their regular clothes. They didn't get their costumes until issue number 3.
Oh, okay.
So, so yeah. So, do they? But is it? But Fantastic Four number 1 is their first appearance. So yeah. So this is to me, it's just my feeling about it is this is the first appearance of Ant-Man. Now, what the way CGC denotes it, this is the first appearance of Ant-Man. Issue 35, where they retcon this book, is seen as the first appearance of Ant-Man in costume. That's how they denote it. So yeah. Now, have I confused you enough?
No, I think I probably agree with you.
Okay, cool.
Because it is Henry Pym. It is the
Yeah,
same guy. He is actually named, and then
yeah.
he named following up. So he is the character. As you say, he has got his abilities because he can make himself small.
He can't really do it at will,
The
but
only
he can.
argument I'd have against it is he's not in costume, but it says not in costume on the cover. So,
Mhm.
yeah.
Okay, so this is a 5.5 for 4,000.
Right.
I think that's a little low. I think this is one of those $1,000 per point books. Yo,
Mm,
wow, look at that spike.
yeah, and look, this is not good, Alan. This is 4,000. That is, I think, less than pre-COVID.
And even below what Go
Yeah, this
Collects
is
calls fair
significant.
market.
Right, this is now significantly less than pre. This is one of the worst ones I've seen, Alan. So
This really didn't perform well. And
pre-COVID, pre-COVID, about $6,000. Now it's actually 30% less than pre-COVID.
wow, that's crazy. So, and then what's the spike? How big was that
Oh,
spike?
ridiculous. It was $19,000.
Wow. So yeah, so definitely did not perform well. And again, this is we were talking about this in my half where movies can really kill the value of a character. Like
The Ant-Man movies weren't bad.
the last one was
What, Into the Quantum Verse or whatever it was called.
Multiverse. That was terrible. It was painful. I found it actually painful to watch, to
I
tell you the
don't think
truth.
I think it was another one you convinced me not to watch.
Yeah, I really
The
didn't
first
enjoy it.
Ant-Man movie was good, and
Second one was I kind of felt like the second one was like that turning point where you get kind of that the current MCU, like where they kind of pushing the female character at the eh, they push the female character in a way that kind of demeans the male character. That's what I don't know why they have to do it that way. They can kind of uplift both, but instead they always make the male character look inept and the female character look awesome. That's what was the problem with the second one. But I actually didn't mind the second movie. I thought it was actually quite
Yeah,
good. But
quite enjoyed it.
mhm.
Right. Okay. So not a great investment.
Yeah, which is
But I
sad
quite
because I
like
actually
this.
really
I
like
quite
Ant-Man.
like this comic. You know,
Me too.
if I found one of these, you know, in my price range, I'd probably buy it.
Yeah,
Looks like
it's
it
a
might get into my price range shortly at this rate.
yeah, at that rate, definitely going to be in your price range. It's going down. But yeah, it's kind
Right.
of sad actually.
Here we go. Now, this is actually, although I'm not a big Spider-Man fan, this is actually one of my favorite covers.
Yeah, Mysterio is a really cool
And
character.
I do like Mysterio. So I like Mysterio. I do like this Ditko cover.
Hmm.
I just, you know, I quite like these little panels at the bottom and this sort of black edging around here. I don't,
Well, I
it's,
like the way he appears on the cover with
yeah,
this like mist, and he's
yeah.
like, he really embodies the name. Just a really cool character.
Look at the
First
quality of
appearance.
this. Look at this absolute stunner. I mean, this is so hard because this black down here, oh,
Yeah, you would
top
think
that I've
it.
ever seen, you know, you know,
Yeah.
spine ticked to hell down here.
Yep. So this is a really nice presenting copy. Cool character. Definitely, definitely a cool book. Um, so Amazing Spider-Man number 13.
First appearance of Mysterio.
Yeah. So and for 6,000.
That sounds cheap.
Yeah, it sounds a little cheap to me too.
9-0
Um,
key character. Surely that's cheap.
uh,
Yeah.
Almost 4,000 on the census.
Yeah.
Actually, it looks like it's back to slightly above pre-COVID, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, it's hovering around six. Last two sales have been 6,000.
Okay, and then what was it
Pre-
pre-COVID?
Pre-COVID, about 5.6, 5.7.
So just around its pre-COVID numbers. It
Yeah.
seems like we've.
Well, I couldn't claim it's at pre-COVID because this June 9, 2019 is pre-COVID, and that was 6.5.
Oh, okay. Again, this is a character where I believe the movie Spider-Man No Way Home, which
Yeah.
is features Mysterio,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. And it's a good
Um,
movie.
Good movie, great movie actually. That happened before COVID.
Yeah. Just before, I think.
Yeah, so that little spike is
Could be the
movie
movie.
hype, movie hype spike.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this one here, I think it's this little spike here in November 2019, because I think that's
Hmm.
when the movie came out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then the COVID price, obviously, craziness. But um, yeah, I mean, I find a lot of these books, these kind of major blue chip books, are really just getting back to where they should be, like or where they were. We've almost completely finished the reset. I'd say.
The Thanos click has been reversed.
Yeah, it seems like it. It seems like it. So
How long
yeah,
did they disappear for in the Thanos click?
actually, it's funny if you want to make that comparison. It was 5 years.
Ah, well, there you go. We're
It's
near,
been 5 years.
yeah, so it's Thanos. We got Thanos
We we
did it.
we we have the Thanos effect. That is very cool. Very funny that it actually works out to being that. So
Right. Okay. We now know who to blame. All
yes,
right. Now, this is a big key comic, Alan.
yes, this was the big key I was referring to. It's probably the biggest key that I can think of.
Well, yes. I love this comic.
Me too. I actually love this one. There's one that's similar that kept on buying by accident, thinking it was this book, which is driving me crazy. But I did buy this book eventually. This is the first appearance of the Fortress of Solitude. There is an earlier appearance of the Fortress of Solitude, but it's just not called the Fortress of Solitude.
Yeah. Great book.
Yeah. What does the CGC slab say? It,
CGC Slab says, let's have a look.
this is Action Comics 241.
First appearance of the Fortress of Solitude, Fort Superman. Jerry Coleman and Otto Binder stories, Wayne Boring and Jim Mooney and Howard Sherman art,
Kurt
Swan
Swan cover.
cover.
Hmm. Yeah, 1958.
98.
Wow. So early Silver Age.
Yeah,
Very nice. And that's the big key.
that is a big key. And it's quite a pricey key as well.
Like,
Uh,
what would Superman's keychain look like if that's one of the keys on it? I mean, it's like,
he's not
where
going
do
to
you even
lose
put
them
that?
though, is he?
What?
If you're not going to lose your keys if they're that size.
Sure. But where do you put it? Okay. So yeah.
Um, you don't keep it in your pocket.
No.
No. Okay,
Okay.
right. So let's have a look. 6,600. I think that's quite a good price, Alan.
Really? Yeah, I'm not sure. I think that's like DC books are always so much cheaper.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I
I
think
think that's a high price, actually. Yeah. We'll see.
it's a record. It's a huge record.
Oh, huge record. Nice. See,
So
DC
the
is coming
previous sale was 2,640 in
and
2021. So that just in COVID?
that's
Yes,
in COVID.
that's in COVID, and there was three times the COVID price, Alan.
Wow, probably the biggest sale we've ever seen,
That was
considering like it's above the COVID price.
Yeah, way above the
Wow,
COVID
that's
price, double and a half.
and there's 94 of these on the really low census count.
Yeah,
Um, I bet that census will jump after this because people will be like, "Oh, maybe it is worth getting this book rated." Um,
yeah, you could probably go and get this, raw on eBay for about 30 or 40 quid.
no, it's not that cheap of a book. It's more like a few $100s.
Is it?
Yeah, I have a raw copy. I
Okay.
think I paid 100 or $200 for it, and it's not a high grade. Um, but yeah, this is a pretty cool book. Yeah, it's cool to see a major sale like that. It seems like last few weeks, it's always your list that gets the real legitimate sales, big,
Yeah, yeah.
records.
You did badly again this week.
Yeah,
This one's pretty good. That's a
yeah,
that's a
huge.
proper record.
Had we like we should have picked this for our spec, like like our
Yeah,
spec.
somebody picked that for spec comic. You'd have made $4,000.
Wow, huge.
Right. Okay.
You know why though? I bet this went up because of the Superman movie.
Yeah, absolutely. What do we see in the trailer? He's in the
Yeah,
Arctic.
he's in the Arctic. It's
He's obviously on the way
Fortress.
to the Fortress of Solitude.
Yeah,
So you better get your Fortress of Solitude keys, guys.
yeah, and this is the biggest
It's
key.
not just cryptocurrency. You've got to buy big keys as well as crypto.
Yep, exactly. Okay, cool. That's very nice.
Right.
I like seeing records.
Lastly, unfortunately, another big key, but not literally. Oh God, Alan.
This
Now
is your favorite.
we've got another horrid signed, restored.
Yeah, hybrid stuff. Yeah.
Right.
I
So
really don't know how that impacts the price because there is the Stan Lee effect, which we know about.
it sometimes works and sometimes doesn't.
Yeah. Um,
Right. So Alan, because they don't do a restored signed listing, you have to go through all of them. Right. So
yes.
I'm going to start off with
So Amazing Spider-Man
an
1.
ordinary 7.0, right? Not
Okay.
signed, not restored.
How much does the ordinary Spider-Man 1 go for?
About $22,000 at the moment.
$22,000. Okay. So
Right.
this is like 1/3 of that.
What did it sell for?
1/3, like seven,
Nine.
9,000.
No, it's about
Oh
half.
no, no, it's about a little bit.
A little
Sorry,
bit
not a
less than
third.
half.
Yeah, a little less than half. So like 40% then,
Yeah.
would you
Now,
say?
if you just take a straight restored, is this restored? Yeah, is that restored?
Usually
No,
you're
that's
getting about 30 to 40% in this higher grades, just so you know.
so we want to look at restored, don't we?
Yeah. I would say typically 30%. Let's see. So 30% would be around 7,000 would be my guess for 7.0.
7.0, 7,000,
See? So
7.8.
that's the rules of thumb that I have kind of work, right?
Okay,
Like,
right. So, but this one has done better than 7.8.
yep, it's at
So
nines.
therefore, Stan's signature is worth 2,000.
Yeah. Well, what's the signed copy go for?
Okay, signed copies.
Do we have to look at all the,
Okay. That's the restored. Uh,
yeah. What's the signed? Just signed by itself.
well, the restored last one that sold was 2017. It sold.
No, that's 7.5, Mark.
Oh,
It's a
okay.
7.0.
7.0, 7.0, 7.0. Sorry. Uh, 7.8.
Yep, 7.8. But how much does a signed one, just signed go for?
9. So yes, so Stan's signature has added 2,000, adds
Wait,
um
wait, wait. So wait, here's a this one, that's this book. It actually shows it as the signed one. That's
it,
this book.
oh that well it shouldn't be doing that, should it?
But the one previous, because that's what we have to
Yeah,
go
the
by.
one previous
It's
was
kind of bogus that they kind of put it
yeah,
on.
the
It
one
messes
previous
up
was
the.
28. So given that the unrestored, unsigned is 22, Stan's signature has added 6,000 there.
So
Um
wait, so we know that it goes for about 40%. So what's 40% of 28?
40, 12.
Yeah, it's about $9,600.
Yeah, it's about right. Yeah.
So it's about right on what you would expect.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh,
30 to 40% is usually what I
yeah, well, it's about right
kind
then.
of.
It's 30 to 40% plus 2 grand for the signature.
All right, very cool. So yeah, so that one, the Stanley actually gave it a bit of a help. I think you know what's good about this one in terms of like labels. If it was a solid purple, right?
Yeah.
People would be like a little bit more wary. But
Yeah.
because it's yellow label mostly, in a way that it doesn't look as bad like the purple label of death.
Yeah. Yeah, but you
So,
like purple labels, Alan. You're always extorting.
well, I like them just because I'm cheap. I actually go and say, "Can you just put a little bit of color touch on that like $1 million book, and I can pick it up for cheap." Yeah.
Yeah,
Um.
exactly.
So yeah. So yeah. I mean, this one right on what you would expect.
Yeah,
Not
and Stan's
a
signature is actually quite well placed on this one.
actually extremely well placed. I was thinking that too. Like it's not like distracting the art. It's like and
No.
but yet it's visible. So
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, not bad. Not bad. I prefer the Mysterio cover.
oh, me too. Me too. We got. Is this the last one on the list?
It is.
So wow. So yeah. So
Okay.
interesting way to end.
So, Superman with his key hitting,
Yeah.
hitting, hitting the record levels.
That shows you the effect that there's actually this is I always feel like this is a good thing when movie spec can reignite the market where it's like oh everyone's getting excited again
Right.
and the books go up.
Okay. Let me tell you, I have to say that I have spotted something in the market.
Okay.
And it's the same sort of thing, really. And I haven't seen it since before COVID. And
Hmm.
that is, I bought a whole bunch of Lobo comics
Oh yes, you're
about
saying yeah.
about 2 months ago. So I got about
Mm.
90 of them for 40 quid. Okay. And I thought, why have I bought all these COVIDs? Then they announced Jason Momoa was going to be playing in the Supergirl movie, right?
Hmm.
And I said, "Oh, I'm gonna bag and board these and put them and sell some on Whatnot." And when I did it, I always checked the eBay prices. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
and I was quite surprised the eBay prices had gone up a bit.
yeah. Of course, yeah,
And I was selling, comics I had bought for a pound or two, less than a pound. I was able to get £3 to £5 for, right?
yeah.
Anyway, I then bought about a month later. Another similar lot came up of about 80.
More Lobos.
more Lobos, about 80.
Oh wow, okay.
And this time though, I didn't get them for 40. I had to pay 80. So I had to pay £1 a comic this time instead of 50,
Okay, so you paid almost double, but
almost
same
double.
idea.
And what I did earlier this week, I went back onto eBay when I was bagging boarding them and pricing them again.
Hmm.
I went back on eBay, and in that month,
Hmm.
the number of Lobo comics available for sale had virtually gone in the UK.
Okay.
So people have been on there and
They
bought.
just bought them all up. Okay.
Yeah. So, and it's quite often the only ones available are in the States. The
Hmm.
prices had gone up significantly,
Wow.
20 to 30%. So I went over to Go Collect and I
Okay.
had a look at the two big Lobo keys, which is Amiga Men 3 and
Yeah, yeah, that's the big
Lobo, the
one.
first Lobo miniseries.
Hmm.
And both of them, there's always a sign. If you look at the 90-day average, the 60-day average, and the 30-day average, if
Hmm.
all of those are
Or up.
up, that's I've not seen that for some time. And it was same on the Lobo one. So, and I think this has only just started because we're nowhere near a trailer yet for that movie.
Hmm.
So I think if you want to get your Lobos, you need to get them in now.
Well, I think Lobo is a really great case. And they almost is kind of like Carol Danvers. So you got a character that the comic community knows, but the comic community also knows that nobody beyond the comic community knows that character, right?
Yeah,
So you think like comic book collectors, they're thinking, oh, once everybody knows about this character, they're all gonna love the character just as much as I do, and therefore it's gonna become like a the next Superman, the next big thing. And Jason Momoa looks
he does
like
look
Lobo.
exactly like
So
him.
it's like this is like the perfect storm of circumstance
And the
where
comics are just hilarious. One of the ones I picked up and I actually read it was
Mhm.
Lobo versus Hitman #1,
Oh,
right?
okay, yes.
Because both characters are quite tongue in cheek.
Yes, very much so.
It's absolutely one of the best reads I've read for a long time. It was absolutely hilarious.
Yeah,
Alan Grant, and so got some great artists working on. I mean, Lobo is just basically a big thug, um,
yeah,
who is unkillable. He basically, as if there's one drop of his blood left, he regenerates, right?
yeah, yeah.
So he gets shot up and he gets decapitated and he gets,
Jeez.
everything's happened. Hitman sort of kills him about, or he doesn't kill him,
30
but
times. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, and it is hilarious. If you've not read Lobo versus Hitman #1, I do recommend it as a read, especially if you like that sort of slightly offbeat humor.
Yeah. Well, the one that I read with Lobo was he was judging a beauty contest and everything goes crazy. It's like just a crazy situation. Lots of women in bikinis,
Yeah,
lots of
there's
like,
a couple of bikini
yeah,
covers. Yeah.
it was quite funny. But,
So yeah, so I do reckon just so I think it's going to get, and this is some time before we've even got a trailer.
I know
So
once there's a trailer, I think you'll get another
another boost
boost.
up.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So
yeah. Very interesting.
so if you've got your Lobo comics, then hang on to them because I think you need to wait. And if you want to sell them, wait till the trailer's just about to drop. Drop it just before the trailer comes out.
No, no, drop it at the trailer, after the trailer, I would say.
After the trailer, you think, okay.
Yeah, it's the best time because then people get like really, really, oh, it's real now. It's real. It's something. Yeah.
Especially if the Superman movie does well, because if the Superman movie does well, there'll be a lot of hype for the Supergirl movie,
Yeah.
and Jason Momoa is going to be the main
Main baddie.
that Loba's going to be the main, and he's a great baddie. He
Yeah,
just
yeah.
he just is mean ass bastard,
Yeah.
a mean ass bastich,
Yeah, yeah.
the fragging bastich. Yeah, so yeah, should be fun.
Yeah, it would be a good one. So yeah. So that's it for this week. But
Yeah,
yeah.
that's it. That is it. I'm closing now. Alan's telling me to hurry up, basically. Right. So that's your lot. See you again soon. We will be back next week with some more reviews at the hottest Silver Age comics. Thank you, Alan.
Thank you.